Okay. Fine. Okay. So you know, right? So the difference between sign out and log off. Okay. Sign out and disconnect is mainly sign out and disconnect. When to sign out, if you initiated something and it is still running, you just go for disconnect. If you initiated something and it is still running, you have to disconnect from the server. And you initiated something and it was completed, nothing is running. Okay, and what you can do, you can directly sign out from the server. And if you initiated something, services and all will be up and running 24/7. You initiated something, you are doing something on the server. If it is still going on, then you have to disconnect. If it's completed, if nothing you are doing on the server, very simple. If you are nothing doing on the server, sign out from the server, guys. That is the difference between sign out and log off. Okay, so let's quickly start the SQL Server installation. Right, so we can discuss again. Don't worry. Tomorrow morning also again I'll tell you SQL Server installation. You don't worry now. So just we are going to initiate the installation now. Okay. So in the morning session we discussed about the SQL Server installation prerequisites. What and all prerequisites are there? Please be muted, guys. I'm getting some background noise. Please be muted. Okay, thank you. So in the morning we just discussed what are the prerequisites to install the SQL Server and all, right? So now we'll start installing the SQL Server. Let's see what and all options we can see. Okay, what kind of settings, what kind of configurations we can see during the installations. So each and every point we'll discuss one by one. Again, we'll use, as it is an installation related things, you can see some new words during the installation. Please don't worry at all, nothing to worry. Okay, we'll again discuss in the next session. In case if you are not clear, again tomorrow morning I'll show you. Okay, you don't worry, guys. Okay, so now if I want to install the SQL Server, I need SQL software, right? So how to copy the software, guys, to the server? How we can copy the software generally? Okay, so guys, RDP, if you are using RDP feature, you can directly, okay, copy paste from your local laptop, guys. If you are using RDP feature, you can directly copy paste from your local laptop. So I shared you the softwares, right? So you can directly download it and you can copy, right click copy and right click paste will work in case if you are connected to the server using RDP. If you are doing direct, I told you, right, if RDP is not working, nothing to worry. So again, we have an option like we can directly connect to the server. But if you are doing directly, if you directly logged into the server or machine, there is no copy paste option. What we have to do, guys, we have to attach the software. How to attach the software? Go to Oracle VirtualBox. Remember, guys, while installing Windows Server, we have attached ISO image, right? In the same way, go to machine settings, right click settings, and what you can do, go to storage section. Earlier in the D drive, Windows Server operating system we attached, right? So instead of Windows Server installation is completed now. We don't need any Windows Server now. Even .NET Framework installation is also completed. So we don't need Windows Server operating system now. What I'll do, I'll replace D drive. D drive generally when you attach it there in the D drive, the software you can see. This is the operating system, right? When you attach the operating system here, okay, in the server it will reflect like this as a D drive. But this is operating system. But we have completed the work with this software. Now we don't need Windows Server operating system. Now we need SQL Server software. As a DBA, our work will start from this point, guys. Whatever we discussed, whatever we did. Yeah, Peter. Guys, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yes, Shanmugh. Yes,
Yes,
Shanmugh.
sir.
Okay, okay. Peter, what happened, Peter? Any questions? Can you use Peter, just a quick update. Throughout our practice, okay, we don't use VMware. We'll use with the Oracle VirtualBox. In case if you are comfortable with VMware, you can do that, but settings and all generally, whatever configurations, whatever settings, everything will be discussed related to the Oracle VirtualBox. So if you are very comfortable with the VMware, you can go ahead. But I told you, right? So completely our training and all will be on the Oracle VirtualBox only. Okay, fine. So now when you attach any software in this Oracle virtual machine settings, that software you can see in the server D drive, guys. So here earlier we have attached Windows Server operating system, right? So now what we are going to do, instead of Windows Server, I'll attach SQL Server now. Okay. I told you, right, from this point onwards, as a SQL DBA, our role will start in the organization from this point onwards. Okay. Right now, let's attach the SQL Server software. How to attach? Same, go to storage, right click on the machine, go to settings and go to storage section. You can see the same disk, click on the disk, click on this browse option. Okay, here you can select this option, first option, choose virtual optical disk file. You have downloaded the software, right? Go to that location. You can see the softwares like this. I'm going to install SQL 2019. Double click on SQL 2019. Earlier, if you remember, it was Windows Server 2019. Now, if you see, it was SQL Server 2019. Just click OK now. Right now, go to the server. Now you can see the difference. Earlier, you can see triple S, right? Now, when I refresh this, you can see SQL setup. See SQL setup. In this way, we can attach the SQL Server software. Okay, guys, is it clear? So, Shanmukh, in the organization, how we are going to? In the organization, we don't do like this. Why? Because in the organization, we will not have any control. Okay, 1 minute, guys. 1 minute. Kiran, join అవుతున్నాను. Yeah. అంట. Yeah. Account, Azure SQL study and Kiran, Kiran. Right. Right. Okay. So in the organization, Shanmukh, how we are going to copy the software in the organization? Listen carefully. In the organization, we will have a separate way, guys. What is that? That is called shared location. Shared location in the organization, we will not have any control. Okay, on this Oracle VirtualBox Manager, we are not going to manage the machines. Windows team will have a control on this. But I told you, right, throughout our practice, we are the Windows team, and also now we have a control on this. Generally, in the organization, only you can connect to the servers using RDP. That's it. We don't have any other controls, guys. We don't have any other extra permissions and all to create, to start VMs, to stop VMs. We don't have control. This will be controlled. This interface will be controlled by the Windows team. VM team. They can create the VMs, they can delete the VMs, they can install the operating system, they can change the settings of the servers. But in the organization, we will not have any control. Then Shanmukh, how to copy? You said you can attach the machine software, right? Then if we are not able to control this interface, how we can attach? We are not going to attach any software. Then Shanmukh, how we are going to copy? In the organization, we have a concept called shared location, guys. What is that? A shared location. A shared folder will be there. Okay, a shared folder will be there. And generally, for example, see, if this is the organization, if this is the organization, okay, right? And what we can do, there will be a shared folder. Okay, this is the shared folder. This is the shared folder, and we have a servers like this. Okay, right? And the servers, this shared folder will be connected to all the servers, guys, based on the permissions and all. Okay, this shared folder will be connected to the control Z, all the servers. right? So like this. So your SQL software will be there in this shared folder, guys. SQL softwares, whatever softwares, whether it is SQL softwares or any scripts, okay, scripts or patch files, all these things will be there in this shared folder, guys. Okay, so now you can connect this shared folder from any of the servers. Okay, you can connect to this shared folder from any of the servers, and you can copy the softwares from the shared folders to the servers, guys. Is it clear? This is how we'll manage the content in the organization. We will have a shared folder. In that shared folder, all the DBA related stuff will be stored, like SQL Server softwares, scripts, patch files, and all. We'll store it in this folder. So the every server will have an access to the shared location, guys. Okay, every server will have an access to the shared location. So this path will be opened in every server based on the permissions. So we'll open this path in this server. For example, in this server, we want to install SQL Server. So what we'll do in this server, we'll open this shared location. How the shared path will be like this. Okay, roughly I'm telling you guys, double backslash, something like 10.10.10.250 or 125 dot, okay, backslash SQL softwares, okay, backslash SQL 2019, like this kind of path will be there, guys, this kind of path. So this path where we can open, in which server you want to install SQL Server, go to that server, open Windows, run, paste the path, whatever shared path is there. You have to see, we don't know the location of the shared path. In some organization, the shared path will be different. In another organization, there will be a different shared path. Okay, for example, in my house, I know where the things are there, what kind of things in what room and all I stored. I know that. In your house, you will organize the things. So you know where you kept all your wallet and all, keys and all, you know, right? The location in your house, you know the location. My house, I know the location. In the same way, in every organization, we will have different locations. So using that location, we are going to access. So what we have to do, connect to the server, take this shared path from the seniors or colleagues, okay, like this, 10 dot 10 dot 10 dot 10 dot 125 backslash SQL softwares backslash SQL 2019, like this. Take this path from the, 1 minute, please don't mind. Hello. Yeah, this kind of path we have to open, guys. Again, don't worry at all, nothing to worry. Okay, so very simple thing. So in the organization, we cannot directly copy paste the server softwares, and also this is the way we have to use the shared path. Using shared path, we can copy the software, okay, in the organization, right? So this path, how would I know, Shanmukh? You have to check with your colleagues. Once you joined in the organization, you can ask, hey, what is the shared location we'll use to copy the softwares? He will give, or he or she will give the location, save that location. That is very important. In future also, you will use the same location for patching and all. And you can go to the server, in which server you want to install, open, run, copy paste this path, you will get the softwares. You can see the software. From there, you can copy the SQL softwares, guys. Clear? Any questions, any doubts here, please? Any doubts, guys? Please.
No, sure.
Are we good?
Yes. Yeah.
So, yeah, Peter, I'll come back to your question, okay? You can install. You are having a very good machine, 32 GB RAM, 2 TB storage, and you can create many machines in that. That is the highest configured machine, okay? You can use your machine to install Oracle VirtualBox. When compared to VMware, Oracle VirtualBox is so easy to manage, very lightweight process when compared to VMware, okay? How to, Swapnil, go back to the previous sessions. There we have already discussed how to connect to the servers and all. Okay, just go to I'm going to share you the videos. Okay, There you can see how to connect to the servers. In the last class, we discussed about the connections, RDP and all. Guys, is it clear now? Shared path, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Right, okay. Fine. Now we have already copied. Now we have already attached the software, right? Now no need to copy. So simply open this in the server. Open this. This is your setup files, guys. These are the setup files to install SQL Server. Okay. Now you can see here. Out of we can see many folders, files, and all. Out of these files, okay, you can see one file called setup file. Using the setup file only, we can install the SQL Server. Using the setup file only, we can install the SQL Server. So how to open the setup file again? Guys, this is an application file. If it's an application file, how to open, guys?
Right click
Run
run
as
as
a
a
Very good. Always you have to use very important, guys. Always you have to use
Right
run as
click
administrator. Okay.
with the
So right click and you can choose run as administrator, guys. You will get yes or no pop-up. Hit yes, guys. Okay. You can hit yes. You can see now. And guys, permissions. What kind of permissions you need to install SQL Server? One more important thing. What kind of permissions you need, guys? Let me add some extra prerequisites. And okay, standard hard disks. Standard hard disks, guys. Network path. Network path to copy files. Sorry, network path to copy softwares should be local administrator. To install SQL Server, you should be a local administrator in the server. Okay, you should
Yeah,
have
sir.
proper
I have
permission.
one doubt.
Yeah, Rajgopal, please.
Yeah, should be logged administrator means it's equal to administrator, or is there any difference between the
There is
administrator and
no
logged
difference between normal administrator and local admin. Local administrator means you should be administrator to the server. Okay,
Okay, yeah.
that is administrator only, but normally we'll use local administrator.
Okay, okay.
1 minute, 1 minute, guys.
What if I run software without using run as administrator?
Right. Okay. So what if you are not running any application, okay, normally like without run as administrator, in case if you are not using run as administrator option, some applications needs elevated access, then only those applications will work perfectly fine and the installations and all will be smooth. Why? Because here it is you are installing something, means it is doing some changes on the hardware. So if it has to do some changes, in the sense it will create some folders, it will create some services. So it is doing some changes to the hard disk. So if you are not using run as administrator, if you are using like a local normal user, it might fail. It leads to the failure of the installations. Clear? You might get some weird errors. Even you don't know the troubleshooting also in the Google also sometimes you don't find it. These are very small things. You'll get a weird error. That solution you don't, it may be somewhere in the Google, but we cannot open and see all the links, right? Hardly one or two links or three links will open and see. So very weird errors will get it in case if you are not using run as administrator. Why? Because it has to create some folders, it has to create some services. It is doing some changes to the hardware. Correct, guys? So that's why for doing all these things, you need administrator permission. So that's why you have to use run as administrator. Clear now, Abhilash?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. right? So now this is called, what is this, guys? This is called installation center. When you open the setup file, you will get option like this. You will get a interface like this. Okay, when you open the setup file, you will get an interface like this. This is called installation center. What we can do using this installation center, guys? Lot of things we can do using this installation center. Okay, we can do lot of things using this installation center, guys. So we can install the SQL servers using the installation center. We can upgrade the SQL servers using the installation center. We can do lot of things. Okay, we can do, slowly you'll get to know few options we'll use during the course, like upgradations, cluster installations, standalone installations. Okay, prerequisites, hardware and software components, like that there are different options. Okay, or repairing the SQL server, and also we are going to do all these things using this interface called installation center. Now listen carefully. There are two types of installations. Okay, there are two types of installations. Okay, one is standalone installation. Second one is cluster installation. One is standalone installation. Second one is cluster installation. What is standalone installation? What is standalone building, guys? What is standalone building?
Standalone building means single server only.
So standalone installation also, if we are installing SQL Server on a single Windows machine or server, that is called standalone installation, guys. Okay, that is called standalone installation. So you can guess the answer for the second one, guys. What is the answer for the second one? Cluster installation means, what is cluster? Cluster
It's we can see in all the servers. I
group,
mean,
right?
we have
Cluster in the sense group. Very simple definition. Cluster is nothing but a group.
Multiple.
So yeah, if we are installing SQL Server on a group of machines, is called cluster installation, guys. Cluster installation. So we'll discuss about this cluster installation in future classes. In the advanced concepts, we'll discuss cluster installation. So for now, we'll deal with a standalone installation. Means we are going to install SQL Server on a single virtual machine, that is called standalone installation. Okay, so go to this server. So you can see there are different pages. What is this, guys? What is this left side section? What you can see? Page, PAGE page, planning page, installation page, maintenance page, tools, resources, advanced options. You can see like this. So you can see, guys, you can go to each and every page. You can see different options. Slowly we'll discuss most of the options during the course, guys. So planning and all, you can see hardware and software requirements, security documentation, anything if you want to see, you can see from the planning page. We have to go to installation. We want to install SQL Server, right? So we have to go to installation page. So go to installation page. There you can see new SQL Server standalone installation or add features to existing installation. Okay, listen carefully. If you want to install SQL Server in a single virtual machine, you have to go to installation page and you have to choose this standalone installation. Click on that standalone installation. This will open another window. Using that window, you can install SQL Server, guys. So now tell me, maybe you can tell the answer by just looking at the screen. Okay, you can guess it, no problem. Can I install one more SQL Server parallelly? Can I install two instances parallelly?
no,
At a time, at a
no,
time.
no, no.
No.
Are you sure?
We
Are
can
you sure?
install.
You can install but different versions.
No, we cannot install.
2022, if you want to try 2022 after you install in 2019.
No.
Okay. So the answer is we cannot. Okay, even though with different versions also that is not possible. Why? Because installation center will be only one. It's not like 2019 one installation center, 2022 another installation center. No. So you can see when I clicked on this option, this window is opened. So once this is opened, this was grayed out. So that means you can easily guess that it will not allow you to install parallelly. You can see, right? It should be like a blue color like this. If it is blue color, it will allow you to select. But when I open this, when I click on this option, a new window is opened, but this was grayed out. That means you cannot install another copy parallelly at a time. See, after one by one, you can install multiple instances. You can install in a machine. Okay, what is an instance, guys? Let me tell you. These are the installation words. Okay, these are the installation words. Instance. Simply, this is called one SQL Server software copy. One SQL Server is called one instance. Technically, outside people will call SQL servers. If you don't have, like, if you are not familiar with the subject, we'll generally call it as a SQL server. But as DBA to DBA, how they are going to communicate? Hey, have you installed instances? Which instance you installed? How many instances you installed? Nothing but SQL server. Instance is nothing but one SQL server is called one instance. Is it clear, guys? Instance, is it clear? One SQL server software copy is called one instance. SQL instance. So now I'm installing SQL server. This is my setup file. I told you different editions. You can see these are the free editions. Express, Evaluation, Developer Edition. From 2017 onwards, Developer Edition is also free, right? With all features. Developer Edition, all features will work. But what is the challenge, guys, with Developer Edition? You cannot install it in the... Can we install Developer Edition in the production environment, guys?
No, we can't install.
No, we can
Cannot
install.
install.
SQL Server Developer Edition in the production environment. So, okay, you can install in the non-production environment. Okay, so, but the installation process is same. Even though it's a developer or enterprise, the options will be same. There will be no difference. In case if it's an enterprise edition or paid edition, standard or enterprise edition, you have to get the key from your organization. We'll also store the keys in the store location, or there will be a separate application to maintain all the keys. So if you have the key, you have to select the second option and you can give the key. Based on the key you entered, it will be like a standard edition or your enterprise edition. So like that, you can install the paid editions, guys. So now we are installing free edition, right? So select this developer edition. Now go to next. Any software, of course, we have to accept the license terms. Select I accept the license terms. Go to next. So now listen carefully. Before and after installation of SQL Server, before and after installation of SQL Server, you have to restart the Windows machine. It's always good practice to restart the Windows server before and after installation, guys. It's always good practice. Why? Because sometimes Windows team will do some changes on the server. Those changes need reboot. Some of the changes need reboot, guys. So they will not reboot. Why? Because if it's a production server and all, if you reboot whenever you want, that will create a problem, right? Downtime approvals. You have to take approval, then only you have to reboot. So here also, maybe in the past, someone might install something, someone might did some changes and all. So that's why we don't know. So to make sure or for the smooth installation, always it's good to restart the Windows machine before and after SQL Server installation, guys. Is it clear? Is this clear, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So if you click on the show details before installing, it will check whether the server is suitable to install SQL Server or not, whether this machine is suitable. These are called checks, guys. Global rules, we can say, technically we can say global rules. So like these global rules, lot of global rules will be there in the installation. These are the pre-global rules. See here, one of the check, restart computer. If this check is failed, listen carefully, how many checks are there total? 8. You can see here. How many failed?
0.
0. How many warning? How many skipped? All are 0.
Zero.
Listen carefully. Out of 8 checks, if one check is also failed, we cannot go ahead. It will not show the next button. It will be grayed out. Listen carefully. All the global rules in this section, in future also will get this screen, this kind of screen. At every stage, it will verify whether this is suitable or not, whether this machine is suitable or not. Like that, it will verify. So, out of these checks, if 8 checks are there, 8 should be passed or warning or skipped. Anything is fine. But if out of 8, if one check is also failed, it will not allow you to proceed. Are you getting the point, guys? Are you getting the point?
Yes.
If you can see a failed, at least one is there. Failed 0, it should be failed 0, or else simple thing I'll tell you. Always the failed should be 0. If it is showing more than 0, any value more than 0, you cannot go ahead and install the SQL Server, guys. All checks should be successful, or warning also fine, or it can be skipped also. But no check should be failed. If any check is failed, you will not, this next button you can't see this. It will be grayed out. Are you getting the point, guys? These are the global rules. It will check whether these rules are passing or not. If they are passed, then only it will allow you to go to next screen, guys. Okay. Next.
Okay.
Now,
Chairman.
yeah, please, Peter.
Yeah. Before you move ahead, I tried installing 2022 like 2 days ago, and he was asking me to install .NET 4.7.2, and
Yes.
when I tried 2019, it didn't ask me to install .NET. What's the difference
Very
for that?
simple dependency, man. Dependency. See,
Okay.
SQL Server 2022 might have a features that will compatible with .NET Framework 4.7. 2019, there is no such kind of dependency. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So this is your Microsoft update, guys. No need to do anything. No action required on this page. Why? Because it will try to install with updates, but it needs internet connection. In the organization, servers will not have any internet connection. Again, I am repeating my words. In the organization, servers will not have any internet connection due to security. If the servers are exposed to the internet, there is a chance that hackers can easily enter into the server. They can do anything. They can corrupt the data, they can delete the data, they can steal the data, they can change the data, whatever they want they can do. Simply, if you go to, imagine if anyone can enter into Amazon servers, they can change iPhone cost from 1,50,000 to just 500 rupees, right? Imagine if you are able to enter into the HR servers, you can easily change your salary from one value to another value, or you can easily increase the bonus. So lot of things you can do. That's why there is a security threat. So if the servers are exposed to the internet, everyone can easily access the servers. I mean, everyone in the sense, those who know the hacking and all, they can easily access the servers and all. That's why servers will never expose it to the internet. So this step we can skip it. Later manually we can update the SQL server. We can skip this step. Go to next. Now it is installing some setup files to install the SQL server. Okay, now it is installing some setup files to install the SQL server. Guys, is it boring?
No.
Yeah, nothing.
Are you sure?
Not.
Sure.
Is it overflowing?
No.
No, sir.
No.
Not,
No. It's okay.
not yet started.
Sharmukh, I have one doubt.
Yeah, Rajgopal.
Yeah, you told that if any server having any internet access, you told that hackers maybe access the servers.
Correct.
I mean, coming to this scenario, yeah, we can take to banking domain.
See, measurements and all that will be different, Rajgopal. What
Okay.
kind of security measures she will do, that is different. See, what you
Okay.
are saying is I'll keep my phone outside. Let let me take, someone will take, later I'll give the police complaint, they are going to chase it. Is it going to work?
No work.
Yeah, right. Very simple thing. See,
Okay.
measures and all you can do, but once he entered into the server, for example, very simple, I guess 4 years or 5 years back, you can be in mute, you can be in mute. 4 years or 5 years back, all the Windows machines across the globe are affected with a virus called, anyone knows the name of the virus, guys?
Ransom.
Ransomware. Okay, so what they did, what hackers did, they locked your servers, locked your machines. If you want to unlock, you have to pay some amount.
Okay.
Okay,
And it's
so
the data was converted into the
yes,
encrypted mode.
that's what they can do, whatever they want. So after
Okay.
taking effect, the measures and all will be different. But before entering into, you have to block them. Before entering into the server itself, you have to block them. Simply exposing the servers to the internet, no problem, I'll take the measures. No, that is not going to work.
Okay.
Otherwise, you have to put a separate team on that only to measuring the machines and all. That will be a difficult thing. Okay, that's why
Oh,
nowhere in the organizations, if you go to any company, no servers will be exposed to the internet. They will be connected in the intranet. Internet is different, intranet is different. Internet means connecting to the public network is internet. Connecting mutually, servers to servers, they can talk together. That is called intranet. So servers can talk each other in the organization, but they cannot talk outside. Okay, they cannot talk outside.
Whoa.
Rajgopal, Rajgopal,
yeah, Shanmugh.
getting lot of disturbance from you. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. So that's how it will work. Okay. So servers will be connected through intranet, but they cannot connect to internet. It will create a lot of problems, guys. Okay. Good now. So again, one more global rules. You can see install rules. You can see passed all three passes. See, this is called warning. Warning is also fine. Warning skipped passed. All three are fine, but it shouldn't be failed. No rule should be failed, guys. If any rule is failed, it will not, it will be grayed out like this. The next button will be grayed out like this. Okay, now go to next. Now coming to the features section. Features, I told you, right? Components. SQL Server is a set of components, guys. Using SQL Server, you can do lot of things. In the initial session, we discussed, right? We discussed about SQL Server definition. What SQL Server can do? It can store the data, it can process the data, it can retrieve the data. Apart from that, it can also do lot of other things. It can analyze the data. It can integrate the data from different sources. It can generate reports using the existing data. A lot of things it will do. But to do all these things, these are the features of the SQL Server. To do all these things, you have to install the respective features. Now you can see in this screen, you can see feature selection screen. You can see two areas. One is, okay, one is your, okay, specific features. Okay. Second section is shared features. So what is the difference between specific features, okay, and shared features, guys? Specific features, shared features. Listen carefully. The first section you can see up to here, okay? These are all specific features. And from here to here below, these are all shared features. So what is the difference between specific feature and shared features, guys? Any idea?
For example, we need to install a few more instances. Shared features we can install only one time.
Very good, very good. Good try,
Yeah.
Prasad. Good try. Right. I'll give you an example, guys. Very simple example I'll give you. For
For other
example,
application.
yeah, Pallavi. Yes, please continue. You are talking something, Pallavi. You are in mute.
Specific features are used for the SQL Server, and shared features will be for other uh, applications
Very
or
good.
for other.
Yes, yes, very good. Not only others, even SQL servers also will use that. Okay. Now, for example, good try, Pallavi. For example, you are staying in a PG. PG, right? What is PG? Hostel. Right? You are staying in a PG. Now, when you are staying in a PG, there are some specific things you will carry. There are some shared features or shared things also will be there in the PG. Can you tell me what are the specific things you will carry and shared things you will get it? Specific things. What and all specific things you will carry, guys? When you are in PG, what and all specific things you will carry?
Our own personal thing.
Correct. Your laptop, your mobile phone, your clothes, and whatever personal things are there, that plate, glass, whatever it is you are using, your personal things comes under specific things. Right? Shared things. What and all shared things will be there?
Room, washing machine, like that.
Washing machine, TV,
Internet.
Wi-Fi, okay, refrigerator. These are all comes under shared features. So when anyone joined in the PZ, when new guy joined in the PZ, what he has to do? He has to use the existing shared features, right? If someone joined in the PZ, means that PZ people will not again buy a new TV, a new refrigerator, a new washing machine. Correct, guys? Whatever shared features are there, that has to be shared between all the people, that are those who are staying in that PG. They have to share these features. Okay, so only when you construct the PG, that time itself you will install shared features. Correct, guys? Is it clear? So shared features are installed by only once, that will be used by many people. Okay, in the same way, when you install SQL Server, we'll get some shared features and specific features. Specific features means those are specific to the particular machine. Okay, so whenever you are installing an instance, listen carefully, guys. Whenever you are installing, how many instances we can install in a one Windows machine, guys?
51 default, 49 name.
Huh? What is that, Prasad?
49 instances, and with default we can calculate 50 instances.
Yeah, Prasad, you are confused here. Total 50 instances, okay?
Yes,
Total
yes.
One
50
default and
instances.
One default
Yes,
and 49.
One
yes,
default, 49 names.
very good. Okay, out of 50, one default instance. Guys, very simple, very simple. 49 named instance. Imagine Windows machine is a PZ. So in this PZ, maximum how many students can be there, guys? In this Windows machine, maximum how many people can stay in one
50.
Windows machine? 50 people. Okay, each person is called one instance, guys. Okay, in one Windows machine, I can install 50 SQL servers. Are you getting the point, guys? In one Windows machine, I can install 50 SQL Server software copies. Each copy is called one instance. But Shanmukh, how many will install in the organization? Guys, Maximum 50. That doesn't mean we'll install all 50 instances. Mostly in the organization, they are going to install only one instance. Why we don't install multiple instances? Why? When you restart Windows Server, all the instances will be affected. That's why we don't use or we don't install multiple instances. Max to max in one Windows machine, one SQL instance will be there. That's it. Some scenarios maybe two or max three instances. If you are using, you can install up to 50, but if you are installing more instances to save the operating system cost and all, that will impact your product, guys. Is it clear? So total how many instances I can install in one Windows machine, guys? Total how many instances that I can install in one Windows machine?
50 instances.
50
instances.
instances. 50
One is
instances.
default.
50 instances. Okay, out of 50, one default, one named. I'll tell you the difference between default and named. As of now, I can install 50 instances in one Windows machine. So if you imagine you want to install all 50, so 50 times you have to select the shared features, sorry, specific features. Are you getting the point, guys? So first instance, you have to select a database engine, a replication, full text. When you're installing second instance, again, you have to select these three features. Third instance, again, you have to select these three features. Fourth, again, the three. Up to 50, again, you have to select these three features. These are specific features. Okay, I told you, right? 50 people can stay in this PZ. This is the PZ, Win0B, 91DUM, JFLB. This is one PZ. In this PZ, max 50 people can stay. Each person will have its own his own mobile phone. Each person will have his own laptop. Each person will have his own clothes. Okay, so kind of thing. I'm just giving an example. Don't explain like this in the interview. You'll get to know that you learned somewhere and you are just simply repeating the same. Just to understand, to make sure that you are going to understand all these points, that you are going to comfortable with the subject. I'm giving these examples.
Okay. I
Okay.
have a quick question.
Yeah, Peter.
Hi, Shamu, you mentioned two types of installation, standalone and cluster and installation. So my question is, when are we going to talk about the cluster? Is it when you start
We
with
have
Windows
lot of
Server?
time. Yes, we have
When
lot of time, Peter. When we
yeah, yeah,
start advanced concepts, there we'll discuss about cluster installations.
yeah. No, quick one. I just wanted to know, is it when we get to Windows Server failover cluster, and that's when you're going to discuss
Yes,
the
correct.
clustering installation? Okay.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to know because that will be before is on. Got it. Thank you.
No
Because
problem.
I have cluster installation next week and I have a couple questions. So
Yeah, cluster
that's why I'll
See,
ping you. Yeah. Thank
if you
you.
want to
Yeah.
understand cluster installation, minimum to minimum 1 month it should take.
Okay. I'll
At
ping
this
you. All
moment,
right.
yeah,
Thank you.
it is too early at this moment. Okay,
Oh,
guys.
okay.
Yeah,
Sounds good. Thank you. Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. So, guys, again, these are specific features. So, Shanmukh, I can see machine learning, R, Python, Java. Okay, these are different data quality services. These are extra features that Microsoft is offering. Okay, if you want, you can install, but whenever you are installing extra features, listen carefully. If you go to any hotel, based on the food that you are buying, you have to pay the bill. If you ordered one chicken biryani, you have to pay for chicken biryani. If you order chicken biryani and kebab, chicken, okay, or extra, okay, what we can say, extra items you are ordering, you have to pay extra. Very simple. Here also, you are going to install for SQL Server, these three specific features are enough. If you want to install extra features like analysis services, reporting services, integration services, you have to pay extra. Okay, so for SQL installation, these three specific features are enough, guys. Are we good, guys? In specific feature section, are we good? These three specific features we have to select. Are we good? Any questions, doubts?
No, it's clear now.
Okay.
Yeah, Shanmukh analysis services means what?
Analysis services means we can analyze the data, okay, using this analysis services. That is also one application. Like SQL Server, analysis services, reporting services, integration services. These are different applications that Microsoft is offering. Okay, so if you want, you can install, but again, that will be charged extra and it will be separately charged. So if you have a requirement, then only you install. Otherwise, you don't need to install. Guys, sometimes they will ask in the interviews, hey, do you have experience in handling SSIS, SSRS, SSAS? What are those services, guys? SSIS, SSIS, SSRS, SSAS, SQL Server Integration Services, SQL Server Reporting Services, SQL Server Analysis Services. These are extra features that Microsoft is offering. If you want, you can install. But if you want, if they are asking, do you have, this is a separate course, guys. What is that? This is called MSBI, Microsoft Business Intelligence Studio. MSBI. Okay, for whom this will be useful? For data analyst. Okay, data analyst, this will be useful course, guys. They are going to discuss these three tools. Okay, but we are not trying as a data analyst. We are trying as a DBS, guys. So we are nowhere we are related to these three tools. But sometimes they might ask you to install. Very simple. If they are asking you to install, you have to simply select that component. See, if you want to install analysis services, you have to select analysis. If you want to install integration services, you have to select integration. If you want to install reporting services, you can download it from here. Earlier, in previous versions, reporting services also you can see in this list. But from 2017 onwards, reporting services are separated. So you can download it like this and you can install it separately. Guys, are we good? Instance features, are we good? Specific features. So at this moment, if anyone is asking, okay, the SQL Server installation, only these three features you have to select. No need to
Sure.
select any other
I have a
feature.
question.
Yeah, Prasad, please.
Uh, these three services are also part of DBA.
Yes, these are the main services. Like a car engine, without these three services, you cannot store the data, you cannot process the data, you cannot retrieve the data. So
It is the general part of
it is part
DBA.
of DBA. It is part of,
Okay.
these are the main things of DBA. Okay. Other things, whatever we discussed, IS, RS, AS, those are not part of DBA, but these are part of DBA.
I am asking those three only.
No. Those are not part of DBA. In some
Okay.
organization, they might give you preference if you know those tools, but it's not mandatory to learn those tools.
Yeah, fine, got it.
Yeah. These are specific features, guys. Okay. Now coming to shared features. Few shared features you have to install. Client tools connectivity, client tools backward compatibility, client tools SDK, SQL client connectivity SDK. Wherever it is showing client, so Shanmukh, how to remember? Wherever it is showing client, install the particular software, guys. Client tools connectivity, client tools backward compatibility, client tools SDK, SQL client connectivity SDK. Okay, guys, only for the first time we'll install shared features. Again, I am saying only for the first time the PG people will set up the shared things like fan, AC, refrigerator, washing machine, TV, only Wi-Fi, only during the installation of PG. Later, if anyone is coming to the PG, they don't again buy extra things and all, unless and until if two shortage is there generally. So as I'm installing it for the first time in this machine, that's why I'm selecting these features. Second time, tomorrow morning, I'll show you second copy of SQL Server installation. We don't have this much discussion tomorrow morning. Okay, that's why I'm discussing every point clearly. So next time when you install, no need to install these features. Why? Because I told you, right, this is a fan, this is a TV, this is AC, this is a refrigerator. That's it. Already there we have set up during first installation itself. So next time when you are installing second copy of SQL Server, these options will be grayed out. Is it clear, guys? Only for the first time we'll install shared features. Are we good about shared features? Questions, doubts?
Bottom.
Fine. Okay, so where they are going to be installed? In this path. If you want to change the path, you can change the path to separate locations, guys, using these browse options. But we are having C drive, right? So we are going to install in C drive only. But in the organization, they will give you the path. Based on the path, you can change the location, guys. We need this much time, this much storage space. Okay, but we have this much space. We have 18,000 rupees SQL Server installation needs only 1700 rupees. Okay, we are good, right? If this is more and if this is less, we are in trouble. Okay, guys, if you don't have enough free space, you cannot install. But in this scenario, we need this much required and available is this much. So we are good. Are we getting the point, guys? Forget about these things. Just I'm explaining normal. That is also one important thing that you have to remember. Storage, the free space is also very important while installing SQL Server. So it is taking 1700 MB. So minimum 2 GB we need to install. Okay, guys, this is how you have to calculate. Fine, we are good in this section. Let me go to next screen. Guys, the session will be extended. Please prepare and please don't mind. As it is installation, I cannot break this.
Shanmugh, I have SSD and hard disk drive. Which one will be good
SSD, see, always SSD is good, Saida. Okay,
Yeah.
so you can go ahead, you can use SSD is faster than your normal hard disks. Okay, always you can choose SSD. So you can install SQL Server in the SSD also. You cannot install SQL Server in the extended drives like external hard disks, pen drives, shared locations. You cannot install. Okay, are you getting the point, guys? When you set up the pen drive, it will create extra virtual drive. When you set up the extra hard disk, it will create extra drive. So removable drives, you cannot install SQL Server. Removable drives in the sense hard disk, pen drive, any DVD or shared paths or mapped locations. In these locations, you cannot install SQL Server. Only fixed drives, whether it is SSD or HDD is fine. Guys, SSD, HDD, these are different types of storages. SSD is the latest version of your storage hard disk. HDD is the older version. SSD is solid state drive, SSD. Okay, SSD is faster than your HDD. Okay, fine. So now you can see there are two types of instances, default, named instance. Okay, let me write down. We have two types of instances. One is default instance. Second one is named instance. What is the difference? Functionality wise, both are same. Then why, Shanmukh, why we have two entries then if both are same? What a default instance will do, named instance also will do the same. What named instance will do, default instance also will do the same. It's not mandatory to install either default or named. Whatever you want, you can install. Okay, for the first time you can install default or you can install named. First time you can install named or you can install default. No issues, no dependency. Okay. Default instance will take the computer name while connecting. It will take computer name while connecting to the SQL server. Named instance, you have to specify the name. We have to specify the name while installing the SQL server. That's it. So default instance will take the computer name. Whereas named instance, you have to give a separate name. Named instance, you have to give a separate name, guys. That is the only difference, but there is no more difference between default and named, guys. Now, if you see default instance, it is not asking any name. Why? It will take computer name. What is computer name? This one. This one, guys. This is your computer name. So while connecting to the SQL server, connecting in the sense, let me open my local laptop. See, I'm opening my local laptop SSMS, guys. Okay, so I just want to show you connecting. See, for example, if SQL server is installed, we will connect to the SQL server, right? So while connecting in one Windows machine, we can install 50 instances. So while connecting, you should specify, right, which instance you want to connect. You have 50 people are there in the class. So you should know the name of each person, right? Then only you can call him or you can connect with him. In the same way, while connecting will give the server name, right? That server name will be your computer name if you choose default instance. So now if you choose default instance, what is the SQL server name, guys? Can anyone tell me what is the SQL server name if you choose default instance? What name you have to give? Computer name.
SQL
This one.
Server,
Yeah.
MS SQL Server.
No, that is wrong. That is wrong, Peter. While connecting, I'll tell you the difference. Okay, while connecting, you have to give the computer name. You cannot give MS SQL server and all. It will not allow you for default instance. Okay, I'm waiting for this app. Once it's opened, then I'll show you. Okay, let it be. So now named instance. If you are installing named instance, you have to give the name. We have some specifications. Please be muted, Pawan. Okay, we have some specifications in giving the name, guys. Naming convention of SQL instance, SQL server named instance. Okay, listen carefully, guys. It shouldn't be more than 16 characters. Okay, it shouldn't be more than 16 characters. Means it will not allow more than 16 characters, guys. Yeah, instance name will not allow more than 16 characters. See, here this is my SSMS, right? See, while connecting to the SQL server, you will give the name, right? So this name should be computer name if it is default instance, guys. If it is default instance, I have to give computer name. That's it. If it is named instance, see, if you go down, you can see computer name backslash instance name, guys. Computer name backslash instance name. Okay, computer name backslash instance name. Okay, so now I can install 50 instances in a machine, but this instance in which machine it was installed, we should be able to identify quickly, right? So this computer name will act as a family name. Family name, you know, right? Surname. Surname, you know, right? So this computer means out of 50, hey, this instance belongs to so and so computer. So that computer name backslash named instance 1. That computer name backslash named instance 2. Imagine this is a family. So this is a family head and these are the children of the family. So family name backslash so and so machine. In the so and so machine it was installed. So family name, the machine name backslash named instance name you have to give if it is named instance. If it is default instance, simply you can give computer name, guys. Are you getting the point, guys? Is it clear? Difference between named and the default instance. Questions, guys? Questions, doubts? Guys, don't hesitate. Again, I'm asking, is it clear? Difference between default and named instance.
So for example, I know this is training, but if we go to like an organization, is it going to be different?
No, same.
Okay.
Same. See, that's what naming can be different. See, your family name will be different, Peter. My family name is different. So the organization also same. Based on the application, they'll give naming. So in the organization, I'm sure the same naming and all you cannot see. That will be different naming convention. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Guys, are we good? Please, I don't know. People are so silent. Is it clear, guys? Do you want me
Yes.
to explain again?
Yeah, it's clear.
Yes, Sharma.
Okay. So default instance means you have to give computer name while connecting. Named instance means will give one name during the installation. That name will give while connecting, guys. Okay, but we have some naming conventions. You cannot give name as whatever you want. The name shouldn't be more than 16 characters and it should not start with numbers, guys. It will not allow you to start with numbers. Okay, and it will not accept any special characters. It will not accept any special characters other than dollar and underscore. Only these two special characters it will allow, guys. And okay, underscore. Okay, and underscore. Only these two special characters it will allow. Now tell me, is this instance name valid, guys? 2019 SQL Server.
Not
Is this valid?
No.
No, no,
Or
first name
first number came, right? So it is not valid. It will not start with numbers. Okay, it should start with characters only. SQL Server 2019. Is this valid instance name?
No.
Yes.
No or yes? Type your answers quickly in the chat. Quickly, guys.
Yes. Yes.
Quickly.
Yes.
Yes or no? Type your answers in the chat. Quickly, quickly, quickly. We don't have time.
No,
I want to see.
actually not. Because
Quickly.
there's space in between, right?
Hey, come on, Peter. You don't tell the answer, man. Hmm. Okay, so the answer is, right? The answer is no. It is not a valid name. Why? Because space is there. Space is a special character, guys. Space is a special character. Okay, is it clear, guys? Now tell
Good
me.
question.
Yes, and let me add this one. Now tell
Okay.
me, is it valid, guys? Is it valid?
Yes.
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 Yes, yes.
So it is a valid name. Why? Because dollar and
Yes.
underscore it will allow. Other than this dollar and underscore, it will not allow any special character, guys. Okay, it will not allow any special characters. So this this thing you have to remember. Why? Because while naming the instances in the organization, if you do these mistakes and all, again it will not allow. So if you go to your seniors and all, they will definitely ask you, don't know these things or not. So you should be very careful, guys. Okay. Now are we good, guys? Difference between default named and what is the naming specifications and all. Are we good now? So now I have a quick question for all of you. Just try to participate. I installed a default instance. Can I convert it into named instance later? Can I convert my default into named?
No, no.
Guess it, guess it. You
No.
can use anything, akpa, karvepa, kiki, piki, ponki, anything you can use.
No, we can't use. So once of all, if
If
you
I
No.
install
install the
the
default instance, can I convert it into named, or named instance, can I convert into default, vice versa?
I think no.
That is not possible.
No.
Very good. So that is not possible. Okay, that is not possible. The answer is that is not possible. Once you install default means that is default only. Named means that is named only. Okay, so like that only one default instance we can install in a Windows machine. Why one? Earlier we discussed it, right? We can install one default and remaining 49 are named instances. Why like that? Why? There should be a reason, right?
Because computer name is unique, right?
Very
One
good.
parent, others are children's like.
Very good, Akshita. So computer
For
name is
identification.
unique. Very simple. Imagine in this class we have around 28 participants. Imagine if Peter is there, if I can see two Peters in the participants, if I call Peter, which Peter will respond? The best case is both will respond, the worst case is both will not respond, correct? So if we have duplicate names in the participants, both will be confused to respond, or both will be confused, okay, while responding. So in the same way, if I can install two default instances, as you know that it will use computer name, while connecting to the SQL server using computer name, which default instance it will connect? Are you getting the point, guys? If I can install two default instances, anyhow we have to use computer name only to connect to default instance. But if I give computer name, to which default instance it will connect? Now is it good, guys? Are we good now? Why we can install only one default instance? Are we good? Now I have a quick question. If it is good, can I install 2019 default instance and 2022 default instance in one Windows machine? Guess it.
No, no, no.
No. No. You
Guess it.
cannot. No.
Yes, the answer is no. Why? Because same explanation. While connecting, you will give computer name. So to which instance it will connect to 2019 default instance or 2022 default instance. So in one Windows machine, I can install only one default instance. Remaining 49 are named instances, can be named instances. Are we good, guys? Now, chalo, I'm installing default instance. Okay. So later we'll install tomorrow morning. I'll show you named instance also. Only this screen is different, guys. Okay, there is no difference
Okay.
between default and named. Again, only this screen is different. So Named means you have to give the name. Default means you don't give any name. Currently, you can see in this section, in the below section, you can see any installed instances. You don't see any installed. It is empty. Freshly we started, right? So you don't see anything. You can go to next. Guys, bear with me. Please don't mind. We'll go for extra 30 more minutes. If I break now again, okay, tomorrow morning it will be somewhat confused. So please don't mind.
I have a question, Sham.
Please, yeah.
So, you in terms of the naming conventions, instances. So you said we cannot start the name instance. I just want to get that name instance with a number.
Yes, see 2019 to see very simple. While giving the name of the instance, it will not. It shouldn't be start with numbers. I told you right. I'll give you an example. Right, 2019 SQL instance is error is wrong. It will not allow you.
Okay,
Okay,
quick one. I have a follow-up question.
Start with characters only. Very simple. It should start with characters only.
Okay, I have a question. So can we? I got anyway. I saw one that was actually with IP address slash, let's say,
See, that is
with a name backslash a name. Was that okay? Is that okay?
Okay. See, while connecting, you can also give IP address. That is not a name. Okay, that is another name, but that is just an IP address. You can represent the server with server name and IP address. You can give double backslash IP address also, but that is not actual name. That is another name. What we can say, that is alias name, we can say. But again, you are not giving any name. So that is another way of giving computer name. You can give IP address also, but very good question actually. But while giving name, it will not allow any IP addresses and all. But as you know that computer name we can represent with IP address, right? That's why double backslash IP address you can give.
Okay. All right. Make sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Right. Now, one more very important terminology called service account. Listen carefully. Service account, very simple and sensitive. Service account, very, very simple. I'll try to simplify it. Don't worry, guys. These are the few terminologies in the installation. Once you are comfortable with these terminologies, you are good, guys. But again, don't worry. Okay, don't worry. Now, very simple thing. What SQL Server will do, guys? It will store the data. Store means what? It has to write the data to the disk. Agreed? It will read the data. Correct? It will read the data. It has to read the data from the disk. And it will process the data. Again, that is also kind of write operation. So, who is going to do all these things, guys? Who is going to read the data from the disk? Who is going to write the data to the disk? Who will do that? Who will do that? Who can do that? DBA can do that, read and write and all. Okay, DBA, what he can do, Veena, tell me. Veena, what he can do, he can fire a command, but he cannot read it, right? He cannot jump into the server and he cannot read terabytes of data, right? He can fire a command. He can fire a command to read the data. He can fire a command to write the data. That doesn't mean he is entering into the server and he is writing something to the disk. On behalf of DBA in the machine, someone has to perform that action. I'll give you one more example also. What an antivirus will do, guys? What an antivirus will do? How antivirus will work? Antivirus, how it will work? Very simple. Antivirus will scan all the folders, all the drives. Agreed, guys? Scanning means what? Read operation. So it will read every folder, every file. If it found any virus affected files,
to secure.
Yes. If it found any virus affected files, it will mark that file as virus file. Second option. Third, finally, it will ask, hey, Shanmukh, these are the files I found in your machine. It seems to be a virus files. Okay. Do you want me to delete? If I select yes, what it will do, guys? It will delete. Delete means which operation? Write operation. Delete means write operation. So who is reading on behalf of antivirus? Who is writing on behalf of antivirus? Who is changing on behalf of antivirus? Who is doing all these things? Your service account. In the Windows machine, all the softwares will have this concept called service account. All the softwares will have this concept. So on behalf of SQL Server, no DBA will read and write the data. He can simply fire the command, but someone has to write the data to the disk and he read the data from the disk. That guy is called service account. Are you getting the point, guys? Let me explain with the help of this diagram. Okay, so now imagine this is a machine. This is a machine, Windows machine, and you installed a SQL server. You installed a SQL server. Okay, this is a SQL server you installed. So this data will be stored in the drives, right? Drives. Imagine hard disk. Drives in the sense hard disk. Okay, so these are the drives. You are storing the data to this drive. Okay, we have multiple drives. We are storing the data to the drives, guys. So now SQL Server, what SQL Server will do, you cannot store the data in the SQL Server. Using SQL Server, you are going to store the data in the drives. So you have to read the data from the drives and you have to write the data to the drives. So on behalf of SQL Server, who will do all these things, guys? Who will do all these things? Your service account. Your service account will do all these things. Okay, your service account will do all these things. So service account will directly jump into the drive and it will read the data. That data will give it to SQL Server that we can see on the screen, guys. Are you getting the point now? What service account will do? Drives means folders, right? In the drives means in the drives what we can see in the drives folders. So this service account will enter into each folder in the drive. It will write the data. While reading also, it will read the data from the disk and it will give it to the SQL server. And user will simply read that data. Okay. User will simply, by connecting to SQL server, he will read the data, guys. So who is helping to read the data, writing the data? Who is helping to the user, guys, in reading and writing the data?
Service
So,
account.
Service account, correct.
Yeah.
Service account. So when this guy fired a command select star from employee on the SQL server, SQL server is checking whether table is there or not. Okay, in this drive the table is there, the table data is there. Now SQL server is telling to the service account, hey service account, go to this drive. So and so location data will be there. Just pull that data and give it to me. So this SQL server service account will blindly follows the SQL server commands and simply it will give the data. When you fire insert command, insert into table name some command you fired. So SQL server will tell to this service account, hey service account, write the data. Okay, write the data, so and so data we are inserting on so and so table. You please write the data. So that is called service account, guys. Are we good now, guys? With the help of service account only, we can read the data from the disk and we can write the data to the disk. Are we good now? So service account has to enter into all the drives. So service account should be part of administrator. Service account should be an administrator. Only administrator can do all these things, writing data, reading data, modifying data, deleting data. So this is the importance of service account, guys. Are we good now? Are we good, guys? Any questions? So we have
The
different
service
types of,
account.
yes, we have different types of service accounts, guys. So we have different types of service accounts, default service accounts. Okay, default service accounts, mm, customized service accounts. I'll tell you the difference between default and customized in tomorrow's session. Don't worry. Okay. As of now, I am not going to change any value. By default, SQL Server will give some default service accounts. I'm going to use the same thing, guys. I'm not going to give any value here. Okay. I'll use the default accounts. I'll tell you what is the challenge also with the default accounts. Default accounts. I'll give you one example, guys. For example, you are staying in a room. You are alone staying in a room. Only you are alone. So one maid is coming daily. She is helping you to cleaning. She is helping you to cook the food, wash the clothes, everything she is doing. This work she is going to be completed in 30 minutes. Why? Because you are the only person. She is completing the whole work in 30 minutes. Now one more person is added, guys. One more person is added. How much time she will take to complete the things? Maybe 45 minutes. Now third person is added. How much time it will take? Only one maid is there, but lot of people are there. So now earlier she took 30 minutes. Now she is taking 45 minutes and 50 minutes and 1 hour also. Why? If people are increasing, the work also will increase, right? Correct, guys? Are you getting the point? So this is for one SQL server. Imagine I have another SQL server. I have one more SQL server installed in the same machine. Okay, again the same service account has to write the data, read the data, right? So again, if I have third SQL Server software copy, again the same service account has to use. So there will be a burden on the service account. Only one person is there, but it is helping to multiple instances at a time. So that's why to overcome this, we don't use default accounts. We'll create our own account. That is called customized service account. That we'll discuss in the next session. Don't worry. So currently, I'm not giving any customized account. I'll blindly go with the default accounts only. These default accounts it will give during the installation, guys. Are we good, guys? Are we good? Any questions, doubts? Please bear with me for 15 minutes.
Yes, so we can have multiple service account.
Yes, we can have,
Okay.
but generally we'll use only one service account at a time. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Now let's go to collation settings. Collation means language settings. What kind of language we are going to insert the data in the SQL server, right? So that data, what kind of data you are going to insert? Guys, sometimes we'll use generally some Telugu websites, Hindi websites to read the news and all. Some Chinese websites, local language websites you can see, right? So how we can see? Why? Because they are using Telugu as a language in the database. They are using Telugu language to store the data. In the database, they are using Kannada. In the database, they are using Hindi, Tamil, okay, Chinese, whatever it is. They are storing the data in that language. That's why you're able to see the data in the Telugu or in the local language. In the same way, what kind of language you are going to use in your database? You can give your own language. See, you can customize. You can give Chinese, you can give Hungary, you can give, okay, Arabic, whatever you want. You can see these are all the different languages. Bengali you can give, okay, Chinese you can give, Czech you can give, French you can give, okay, these are all different. Japanese you can give, okay. See how many languages are there. So the data SQL server will allow all these kinds of languages in the database, guys. If you want only English language, then you can simply choose this default collation settings. If you want any specific language, customize it, select which language you want. In that language only, it will accept the data. Veena, service account is not a specific, is not a shared feature. Technically, if you tell, it might use it for multiple instances, so it's a shared, but it's not a feature again, it's a component. Again, that is a mandatory object that should be there to write the data, to read the data. It's not a feature, Veena. Service
Yeah,
account
okay,
is
sir.
not a feature. It's a kind of object which will help you to write the data and read the data.
Okay, for all the versions, only single service account.
Yes. That's what I said. For in a room, if three people are there, for all three people, only one maid can work. All three people can recruit three more maids, right? So for all SQL servers, if only one maid is there or one service account is there, what is the problem? It has to take lot of burden. Please be muted, Vina. It has to take lot of burden. So reading and writing can be slow. The same example I gave, right? In a PG or in a room, if one person is there, one maid is there, the work will be completed very quickly. If people are increasing, the work also will increase, the time also will increase. So all SQL servers can use a single service account, but the same service account has to read the data, write the data many times. So performance will be impacted. If I am recruiting a separate service account to each instance, my read and write operations will be quick, fast, so that the performance issues and all, okay, you don't face any kind of performance issues while reading and writing the data, or you can minimize the performance issues while reading and writing the data. Clear, Veena? So these are collation settings, guys. In the interviews, they will ask you what are the default collation settings. SQL, if you want to insert English language, English, you know, right, how Indian languages are derived from Sanskrit. English also came from Latin language. So you can see this is your default collation settings. SQL, Latin 1, General, CP1, Code Page 1, CI, Case Insensitive, AS, Accent Sensitive. This is the default collation settings. If customer is asking specific to any specific collation settings, he will tell you, guys, don't worry, I'll tell you one point called while installing SQL Server in the organization, we'll follow one sheet called build sheet. In the build sheet, they are going to mention about instance name. Instance name, whatever you want, you cannot give. Katina, Kaif, okay, Mehreen, or whatever you want, Anushka, Sharma, you cannot give your names and all, your own names and all in the organization. There is a specific rules. They will tell you as per the application you have to give. Okay, guys. So instance name they will provide in that sheet. They will also provide service account details, account name, service account password, and all they will also provide. Okay, they will also provide collation settings. So based on these inputs, you can go ahead and you can select the values, guys. It's not your decision or my decision. Customer will ask, hey, I need this collation settings. I need the instance name should be like this. I need service accounts, that's a DBA responsibility, but remaining inputs and all. I need these features. Features also will be selected by customer only. Okay, if we need only database engine, we'll install the database engine. Other than the database engine is asking SSIS, SSRS, SSAS, we have to select those features. So in the build sheet, you will mention all the inputs, guys. So based on the build sheet only, you are going to give the names. You are going to install the SQL server. Are we good, guys? What is build sheet and all? Are we good?
Yes.
Okay.
Sharma, regarding that instance name, like I have seen that it was like host name slash. We have three instances, right? Can you explain about what are
What
the three instances? Why we use three
what are those
instances?
three instances? I'm not getting. Why three instances? We can install 50 instances, Saida.
Okay, it's
We can
same host
install.
name
I'm just
slash.
giving.
Yeah.
Yeah, host name. That's what. For example, I am having two computers, Saida. Okay.
Okay.
Then if I install one instance in one computer, computer one, and if I install another instance in another computer, so I should know the difference between this computer and that computer, right? So this computer is a kind of a family. So that's why we have to give host name backslash instance one. If you install second copy in the same machine, same host name backslash instance two. Now imagine we have second computer. In that also you installed with the same name. Imagine now you are Saida. Imagine your father is having a brother. Your father is having a brother. Okay. So in your brother, in your what we can say, your father is having a brother. So in that family also, if one more Saida is there, how to represent now? Tell me, Saida.
Sun one, sun two. That's only.
Yes, right. Saida 1, Saida 2, we cannot represent, right? So your family name will be added here. So to represent the instance names clearly, computer name is added. So computer name or host name backslash instance name.
Yeah, I got it.
Now you got it right. So to avoid the confusion, I can install Saida instance. I can give Saida name also. I can install Saida instance in one machine. Okay. What is that? FLB. I can install Saida instance in another machine also. FLC. But which Saida instance I am connecting? Yes, FLB Saida instance or FLC Saida instance? Clear now, Saida?
Yeah, yeah, yes, yeah, yes.
So if you give computer name, that will avoid confusion. So FLB backslash Saida, FLC backslash Saida, like that, computer name will avoid the confusion while connecting to the server. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay, guys, are we good? We are almost at the end of the installation. Don't worry. So let me go to next. Collation settings, we are good, right? So in the interviews also they will ask you what is the default collation setting. SQL Latin 1 General CP1 CIAS, you have to remember this. Okay. Go to next and database engine configuration. I'll tell you about this in the next class, tomorrow's session. As of now, there is a separate discussion also we have called authentication security. So in the security session, we'll discuss completely. You don't worry about this. We have two types of authentication modes, Windows authentication and mixed mode. I'll tell you what is authentication, what is the difference between these two as of now. Now you are installing one SQL server. Someone should be there to access to connect to the SQL server, right? Someone should be there to connect to the SQL server, right? That's why you have to add one person at least. For that, what you have to do, you have to click on add current user. If you don't add anyone, it will not allow you to go to next screen. Why? Because someone should be there to connect to the SQL server. If you don't add here, first thing, it don't allow you to go to next step. Second thing is, in previous versions, if you don't give any name here, even though you install SQL server, no one can connect, so no one can give permissions to others. So you have to add minimum one account here. You can click on add current user. It will create an account in the SQL server. This guy can connect to that SQL server now, and he can give access to others also. At least one person should be there. See, if someone locked in the room, at least one person should be there in the room to open the door, right? Locked inside the room. So this is also like this. If you install SQL server, someone should be there in the SQL server to help us to give permissions to others. So at least that's why you have to add one account here. This guy, administrator, can give permissions to others. Whomever you are adding in this section, they will be part of sysadmin. They will be sysadmins guys in SQL server. They can give permissions to others. Okay, so this will be completely discussed in the security session. Don't worry. Data directories, tempdb, maxdop, memory, everything will be discussed in the future sessions. You don't worry. Slowly we'll discuss. These are the configuration related things. File stream is nothing but if you are storing any video related content like YouTube, Insta, what is that? Prime videos, Netflix. These are video based content related websites. If you are going to use your SQL server to store large objects like videos, photos and all, you can use this file stream feature. So we are not using any file stream feature now. That's it guys. Finally go to next and you can click on install button. See, before installing also it is going for some checks. See, these are all the checks it will go. Okay, and finally you can go to next. And now this is the command. Whatever inputs we have selected, using these inputs, it created a query, guys. That query will be stored in the configuration file.ini. Don't worry. Tomorrow I'll explain. Don't worry at all. Okay. Once I hit install button, it will open that file, this file, and it will see all the inputs, commands, and finally it will install the SQL server, guys. That's it. This is all about SQL server. If you are good, that will be fine. Excellent. But if it is like a overflowing kind of thing, nothing to worry. Very simple. Very, very simple. I can install SQL Server in 5 minutes. You can also install, but without knowing any option, if you directly go ahead and if you install, you have to pay a lot of extra amount to I mean to say, the company has to pay a lot of licensing amount and all. Sometimes in some organizations, there will be no DBA team. People by just looking into YouTube videos and all, they will install SQL servers. So when I'm trying to give the support to that guy, I can see all the components will be installed. When I asked, hey, why you installed all these components? Don't know. Some Oracle DBA installed this. Some other team installed this. They don't know the difference between those components. They don't know server configurations. So if you are good in the installation, component by component, okay, object by object, it will be easy to understand, guys. Okay, and while installing also, you will get some issues. So you can easily troubleshoot those issues if you are good at these terminologies and all. But again, this is the first class. It is too early to understand the things. I know I can understand slowly. Again, practice, practice, practice. Okay, you can keep the video aside. You can watch it. You can do the practice. Try to understand each component, guys. Very beautiful this is. You will love the subject, believe me. Try to spend some time so that you will get to know the things easily. It's not a great, and I don't think we discussed very great things till now in the installation. Only terminologies wise, you might feel little different as you know that this is a new technology for you. Definitely, if you go to a new area itself, you can see different things. If you are learning a new software, you definitely will get to know a lot of terminologies, and also slowly you will be habituated with these terminologies. You don't worry at all. Okay, in the next session tomorrow morning 7 a.m. IST. Okay, so we'll again install another second copy SQL 2019 named instance will install tomorrow. As we have already installed a default instance, so tomorrow morning I'll show you named instance. If you have any questions, you can ask me tomorrow, guys. Let's wait for 5 minutes. It don't take much time. It will be installed. Once installation is done, just a quick point how to validate whether installation is succeeded or not. I'll show you that screenshot and we can disburse for today, guys. Please, so sorry. And because of this weekend, I was stuck outside in the traffic. So because of that, it took 1 hour to start the session, guys. Okay. If you have any questions, you can ask me.
So quick question. So can you go back to that note, the notes?
Notes, okay.
Yeah. So do we currently have access to this note, or it's
Yeah.
gonna be after the
I'll
whole
give.
training
No,
is done?
no.
Go down to the last. I was taking
I'll give
yeah,
you the
just
access.
right
I'll
there.
give you the access. Don't worry.
Subject account collation settings and features. I just wanted to write down my notes, yeah.
Sure. I'll give you the access. Don't worry. Okay.
That's all.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir.
Uh,
Sir, which editions we use generally and which editions we use in organization commonly means?
that's what. See, in the organizations will generally use Veena. Don't worry, Veena. Not only Veena, everyone I'll give the access. Again, no need to ping in the WhatsApp. Give me the access. Give me the access. Those who are registered will get the access. Okay. Fine. So which editions in the sense non-production will use developer edition. Production will use either standard or enterprise editions will use.
Shanmugh, where to register?
Saida, you already registered. Okay, don't worry. Just send me your Gmail ID. Yeah, that will be fine. I hope you already sent the Gmail ID, right? That will be fine.
Okay.
Guys, is it boring?
No.
No. Seriously? Veena, can I use 2 instances parallelly? Yes, you can. You can connect to multiple instances parallelly. You can connect to hundreds of instances parallelly.
Okay.
Yeah. I have to create that Google Drive, guys. I'll create the Google Drive. I have to create a separate account for batch 55. Then I'll upload the videos. Once I uploaded, you cannot immediately access. It will take some time to process the video. After that, mean to say you can access the videos. But if you want immediately, we have the solution in our channel. We have batch 54 playlist. Okay, just go to batch 54 playlist. Maybe plus or minus 1 2 points. Okay, you can see some difference based on the what I can say based on the batch and all. But main concept is same. Okay, so still Shanmukh, I cannot wait till the access is going to be access is going to get. So in that scenario, simply go to our channel SOS University. Okay, and what you can do, you can simply, okay, go to playlist section. You can simply go to playlist section, and let me show you quickly. And here, this is the Source University, right? Please subscribe, guys. In case, guys, how many of you are not yet subscribed to my channel, guys? Please, not yet subscribed to our channel. Please, guys, please subscribe. Very important updates and all you are going to get it. Go to playlists. Okay, there you can see batch 55 playlist is already created. So few videos you can see here in future, and see here batch 54 playlist. Okay, so go to that. Each video will be there. Okay, you can see here. Okay, so left side you can see with the names. Okay, whatever names are there, you can see here. You can see. Okay, so you can just go through these classes and all, guys. So RDP connection, SQL Server, installing SQL Server 2019, installing SQL Server 2022, full discussion on SSMS. So few sessions are unlocked already. You can just go through it. Don't worry. Okay, but anyhow, I'll share the videos. Okay, but it will take some time as it has to process. From my end, nothing is pending, but it will take some time to process. Okay, that's why. Until then, if you want to practice, you can go and check the previous playlist so that you can see, guys. Okay. Fine, we are almost at the end of the installation. Yes, yes, Naveen, please tell me.
Hello, Shanmugh.
Yeah, Naveen, please.
Hello, Shanmugh.
Naveen, I can hear you, Naveen. I can hear you.
Hello.
Guys, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello,
Yeah,
Shanmugh.
yeah, Naveen, tell me. I can hear you. Naveen. I can hear you. Just 2 more minutes, guys. Just 2 more minutes, please.
Hi, hi Shamu.
Yeah, Peter.
So yeah, I know you showed us on the SQL Server 29 the installation setup. So on the server or instance configuration, I know there's a part that says start type, and then the part that shows that password where you left everything on a default. So I was gonna ask, is this tomorrow you're gonna show us like
Yeah.
the
In
service
future,
account password and start type? Okay.
whatever I
Okay.
left, okay, I'll show
Mhm.
you. At this stage, that means too early to
Mhm.
discuss. So slowly, I'll show you. Don't worry.
Good.
We'll
Good.
install 3 or 4 times during our training. We'll install cluster instances. We'll install upgradation, migration. Many times we'll install SQL Server. So slowly, step by step, it will be unlocked. Okay. Uh, 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 uh.
Sir,
Yeah, Veena.
for each instance, we'll be having only one service account or multiple?
That's what, see, not one service account. Generally, you can say like that, okay, but you can use, see, when you install SQL Server, multiple services will be created, okay. Each service will have a one service account. See, the answer is yes. If you ask me directly, the answer is yes. But you have to understand services also. When you install SQL Server, 6 services will be created. So each service can have same service account, or each 6 services can have different service accounts also. Okay, so
Okay.
you'll get to know easily. So in the future classes.
Okay.
Okay, guys. So
Yes.
last point, guys, very quickly, I'm going to end the session. So how to check whether instance installation is successful or not? Make sure all the components are successfully installed. You can see green checks. If all are green, especially the database engine, this is very important component. This is the brain of the SQL Server, heart of the SQL Server. If this is installed successfully, almost SQL Server is successfully installed, guys. And again, make sure all the components you selected installed successfully. And you can see install successful message also here. You can see. And in case if something goes wrong, if one component or few components are failed to install, that will be logged inside this log file, guys, that is called summary.txt file. If you click on this, a notepad will open. It will show you whether your installation is successful or not. If it is showing pass, it is successful. If it is showing failed, then it was failed, guys. In this way, we can identify whether installation is successful or not. It should pass all the components that you have selected should be in green checks. If it is failed, you can see red mark here. In this way, you can easily identify whether installation is successful or not. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for your time and patience, guys. We'll connect tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. IST. Okay, you can close this window once installation is done. Again, this will be enabled, guys. Earlier it was grayed out, right? When I closed that installation window, this will be enabled now. In a while, it will be enabled. So now I can install second instance after this was completed. After one installation is completed, so I can install second instance also. Okay, so it is, yeah, now you can see it was enabled now. Now I can go and install second instance. Okay, guys, are we good now? Questions, doubts? Right. Thank you so much, guys. We'll connect tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. IST, and for US people today evening, guys. Okay. Thank you all. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.